we just can't say enough for what they. I still have a little bit of a problem though in getting used to the girls on the sideline in the dressing room, Mike. That's something that you didn't see really too much 20 years ago, but I think I would have liked it just fine.
Well, I can't get used to the fact that everybody has 25 cheerleaders anymore either. Well, we've had a timeout, and now we seem to have doesn't seem to, well, this is an interesting concept. Patton called timeout. We had a meeting, and then Grapevine called timeout, John. So we've hit a definite standstill here. Of course, it's first down and 23, so you probably have to look. It's on the 8-yard line, so you have to look back pretty deep in your playbook to find a first and 23 from your 8-yard line.
They've definitely got them backed up. If we could have gotten one more timeout called here, we could have brought the Cheyennes back on the field to perform for an encore. I think we're fixing to get things reset here, though, and if South can just hold them here within inside the 15, I think they'll be in some real positive territory when they get the ball back.
Okay, now they've had 2 timeouts in a row, one for each team, and each team has 2 timeouts left, and we're on the 8-yard line, first and 23, and we did all that for a handoff up the middle that gained absolutely nothing. And that was Danny Island for no yards.
You had a whole host in there that was...
Did it really take 3 minutes to figure that play out, Jim?
I guess. That was just straight up the middle. David Wright and Nevels again was in there, and they didn't allow him more than just a yard. Second and 22.
Mike, I tell you, both our offenses, Mike Love 75, David Wright 71. We got some both way boys in there now, and they got to be getting tired.
David Wright's showing a real good energy level at this point.
Second down and still 23. Tight formation, hand off to Chambers, and that's going to get you nothing either. And I tell you, John, I understand it because they're still in. They just got to their 10. It's going to be second down and 20. But conservative football might be a little mistake right here.
It seems like it.
I mean, you need to go deep. So if you make a mistake, it'll be down here at the 40. But
they've got to get all the way out to the 30, and it's third down now. I don't think it's going to surprise anybody if they throw it. So I guess I ought to be expecting them to run it one more time and just try and get a little bit more breathing room so that they can drop.
I don't know if they'll throw it. I think if they do, it'll be a safe pass in the corner because they don't want to make a mistake down here. Fumble. And I don't know who's got the ball, but they're saying it's the War South. And South does have the football. How about that for a break, folks? Number 33, how about you, Jason Bialba?
That's a great break right there. South couldn't have asked for any more than that. First, they did a great job by pushing them back on. Of course, Grapevine helped them on a couple of penalties, but they kept them backed up back there. We said if they could keep them inside the 15, that they'd be in some real positive field position, and indeed, Grapevine never even had a chance to punt. The defense caused the turnover, and here we're set up on about the 12-yard line.
Men split to both sides, deep back, blocking back up. We're going right off guard. Good move there, good move there, good move there, and there's an effort, John, and there's 8 tough yards down to the 5-yard line by Gerald Lawrence, 8 yards, and some good hip movement.
Great second and third and fourth effort. Let me kind of give you an idea of who we've got on the offensive line here. David Wright, number 71, is still out there. Number 74 is Mike Love. He's in. Number 57 at center is Robert Sevey. Number 73 is out Ray Gambo on the field. Number 60 is Mark Elaine. And I believe number 88, Jason Webb, is still in there at tight end.
Power football, the sweep, didn't get the block, and boy, did they miss the block. You got to make that, you got to get that man down, John, and these mistakes are killing us right now.
That second down play has been our downfall the last 2 possessions that we've had, and we've just not been able to really break Grapevine's back on that second down play that has really not been that long of a yardage that we've needed to convert, but we've lost yardage actually.
We went from second down and 3 to third down and 9. That's not. I think they're going to throw. expect a slant in or an out pattern. Here it comes, an option. Got to get a man blocked.
He's got a blocker or two out there, but
that man right there ran right by Gary Howard and drug him down.
Number 32, which is Chambers, was the guy that came in and broke the play down and actually came in from behind. He was
big
more or less
question is, they try another field goal? I don't think so. I don't think they're going to try a field goal.
I don't think they're going to.
6 minutes and 45 seconds.
Chambers was more or less your trailer then that came in and pulled Heath down from behind.
This is the play they need to pull out of the bag, John. This has got to be a play they haven't seen all night.
There he is.
There it is.
And it's a touchdown.
That's a touchdown. How about that for throwing a needle right there? A curl in. Let's give it to you right, folks. That was a curl in by Shepard, the senior, and Heath Hartman put it right on the button, and now we're 14-13 in a big decision, and there's no decision here, folks. They got to go for two. You come to play, you come to win, John.
That was a great play, and of course, South has got to be thinking, well, if we don't convert to two, we've still got time to go back down, get the ball back, and score again.
Needs to get somebody on the field.
We're going to have to call a...
I'll give you even money. Gerald Lawrence is going to sweep one side or the other, John.
We're going to have to hurry at the line of scrimmage in order to get this off. We still got a personnel problem.
They want timeout. They can't get it. Warriors aren't happy, and that's why they wanted timeout. The defense was wrong for the play. They had power to the right.
They've got to tackle the ball carrier here because...
They've got to get him down.
This is a new rule that they can go and score here. Boy, I can't believe this. They still don't have the ball. Man, that looked like a Chinese.
And you realize that Grapevine's going to get the ball at the 32-yard line? Now, I got a problem with that because if we had replay, I watched the guy bat the ball forward, John.
There was a whole bunch of people that were
kicking the ball forward.
That's a forward lateral.
I'm not into this call, but the coaching staff doesn't seem to be upset, but I watched three different guys knock the ball forward, John.
Well, I thought actually that one of the officials had a flag in his hand. I thought that they had dropped the flag, but they're going to call it back, and we're going to kick the ball off. So I guess apparently that
something's wrong here. But I guarantee you, I saw three guys bat the ball, and they haven't changed that rule.
I guess there was no penalty involved there. But one of the new rules that you're going to see on a high school level is that when you're going for the extra point, if it's a pass and that pass is intercepted or deflected, or if there is a fumble, they can pick it up and the other team can score. And I think it's 2 points, I believe, is what the defensive team puts on the board if they can score with that fumble or interception. We're going to reset this one, though.
There shouldn't be 40 penalties for that volleyball game I just watched.
You know,
let me go over it again. Every coach, the wrong set was in there. Every coach was trying to get timeout, and Heath looked back but didn't see him. They had a power sweep to the left, and they were strong to the right, John. There was no way that play was ever going to go anywhere.
Once they found out they didn't have the right personnel, I felt like they were going to have to call a timeout in order to get the thing set up right, but it just didn't.
Well, they were trying to call it. Good open field tackle by number 41, Kevin Bailey, number 41, the senior, open field tackle.
Mike, again, I still think, I don't remember of one little breakdown that our specialty teams have had tonight. The
coverage has been very acceptable.
The specialty teams, both punting and kicking, have been exceptional, and our coverage teams.
Boy, every coach realized they had the wrong play call. I mean, every coach was on the field trying to get a timeout. And as you know, folks, the coaches cannot call a timeout. It's got to be one designated player on the offensive team, which is usually the quarterback. Henderson, the man under, slot to the far side, slots in motion, handoff to Chambers over the middle, and he leans forward for a gain of 5 yards.
David Wright in on the tackle. He had started out outside and came back in to make that tackle, and David Wright has got to be a
tired boy,
a tired camper at this point. He has put in a lot of minutes on the field tonight, and you can tell that that the adrenaline is starting to wear off David a little bit. He's still got a pretty good energy level out there, but his
standing
uniform,
up, sucking some air now.
His uniform tells you that he's exerted a lot of energy out there tonight.
Backs are swing to this side, and that's power football to the far side. Well, good defensive play by Toris Wilder, number 46. John, we had not shifted that power football, and Toris Wilder, there wasn't many people behind him on that play. 3rd down and 3, a big 3rd down, John, with 5 minutes and 26 seconds.
Mike, Grapevine's offensive line is still really coming off the ball. Of course, they've had a little bit of time, I guess, over on the sidelines to re-energize a little bit here, but they're going to come right after South, I think, on this play. I think they're just going to try to move them off the ball and go right straight up the middle.
Play right there. Kevin, make it.
What a catch. What a catch.
They're going to give him a trap. They're saying he caught the ball.
They're spotting the ball right at the point where he went down, and I've got to agree with them.
I think he caught it. I know the coaches wanted a trap, but Kevin Horn had a chance to bring the quarterback down and give the quarterback credit. He got out of that tackle and spun out and found his receiver.
You got to give Chambers credit on that. He made a tremendous play to come back.
I think he caught it, John, because I saw his arms come under the ball.
He literally had to come back for the ball in. That's Chris Chambers. By the way, he goes at 6'2", 180, and is just a sophomore.
Stanley, his brother's a junior, isn't he?
Right.
Highland in motion, handoff to Chambers up the middle, and they stacked him good. Give him a courtesy half-yard gain. But what really happens is that series of downs, that clock keeps running. The clock becomes the enemy to the team behind.
Mike, on defense, I've been watching number 75 for the Warriors, David Lucas, quite a bit tonight, and I've got to say that David is quite a specimen. He's out there at 6'2" and 255 pounds. He's just a junior, and he's taking up his space and holding his ground on the defensive side of the ball over on his side, on the left side over there. He's really doing an excellent job, and I believe he figured in on that tackle then, along with David Wright and also number 89, Saunders Rubino is in on the field right now. Was in on that tackle as well, along with Jason Viaba, I believe.
We have 3 minutes and 28 seconds and counting. Before I forget, folks, next week we'll get our first look at the Gophers. I announced a while ago they were ahead at half, 6-3. And if you want to see a ball game, the Gophers next week, here's Friday night, playing Highland Park. John, and Highland Park has 32 returning lettermen. Power football, Danny Island, and he rolled for the first down. I think they're going to give him the mark, John. They'll give him the first down mark. That was a big 3rd down play, and we had one missed tackle, and Island got the first down, and that hurts. Depends on the mark.
I think they may spot.
It might not be a
they
first
put it
down.
a little short here. I believe they may be about half the length of the ball short. I'd be looking for him to go for it at this point.
I don't think they put the ball in the air.
This would be bring up a 4th and 1, but
4th and 4 inches at the most.
I believe that you'd see Grapevine go for this. They've been able to make a yard every play, it seems like, tonight. So you've got to think that they'd go for it at this point.
South Grand Prairie will play their first away game, and they'll play Richardson over there at 7:30. They play 2 at home, and the Gophers have played 2 away now. And like I said, we'll have Highland Park. They're measuring them short, John, about 6 inches. Once again, let me thank our sponsors. We're liable to get heated this last 3 minutes. For Hair Performers, All-Star Athletics, DFW Medical Center, that's our hospital. Dr. James Hostler, NCNB Texas, which is previously Republic Bank, and First City National Bank, and then Lewis Jolly Real Estate. Let me thank them for their continued support. And next week we'll have Highland Park here with our first look at the Gophers. 2 minutes, 54 seconds. 4th down and 6 inches. And it's time to stack the line, John.
This is the play right here. I think it's going to be a quarterback sneak, but South has got to stop them right here if they want to win the ball game.
They stopped him, John.
Sure
they
did.
Literally stopped him.
Sure did.
Depends on the mark. Now, the guy marking on this side, and that's not a first down. The Warriors will take over, folks.
now South's offense has got to get on the field and produce. That's all there is to it. They've got 2
John,
minutes
I'll
and 42
guarantee you now, we were
seconds.
6 inches short a while ago. We're shorter now.
It's got to be beyond that hash mark, and it's not. At least it doesn't look like it is.
But they don't want that coach to tell them later they should have measured.
No, he's way short.
Oh,
he's
good
about
7
a
or
yard
8
short.
inches. And the Warriors, when they had to, made the play. And I'd sure like to give a call. And I could call the wrong player, but I think that was Sean Rubino, number 89, that submarined in, John. And
They
if I'm
really
giving
made
that
some
the wrong
penetration.
player, I apologize.
Yeah, they brought all their linebackers up almost on the line of scrimmage, and they got a little bit of a running start when the ball was snapped, and they made some penetration in the middle of that Grapevine line. That was what stopped them.
Plenty of time, 2:42. Have 2 timeouts left. They cannot choke or push themselves.
Got to hold on to the
Good
ball
effort.
now, Gerald.
Give Gerald about 3.5 yards, and we're definitely in 4-down territory. The last 2 series, John, it's been the mistake that's taken them out.
We got 2 minutes and 25 seconds left in the ball game. Of course, the clock is running because South is keeping the ball on the ground, but looking for a big play right now.
Flankers to both sides. Wing back to one side, split into the far side. Launch the deep back, fake handoff, roll out. He's got room. And he works it into Horn, and Horn's open over the middle. Hang on to the ball, Kevin.
There it is.
He
It came loose.
They're going to call him down.
Yeah, they're
going
going
to call him down right there. The man made a quick point. The back judge, John, immediately pointed down and said he's down. That was a good
I've got to
call.
agree with that call,
Not
too,
going to
because
please those folks, but he made a quick call.
they had stopped his forward progress. He was no longer going forward, and really was at a little bit of danger to the ball carrier, Kevin Horn, at that point, not to blow the whistle, because he had some people that had held him up and some others that were taking some shots at him. So
First down from the 32, 1 minute, 59 seconds. The clock stopped because of the first down. It's now reset and running, 1:55 and counting. Warriors down 14-13. 2 drives have stalled. A look-in hard throw, and it's a head-up shot for a gain of 7. And that's
down to the
Shepard,
25-yard
that's
line.
Hayes, number 5, Hayes the senior.
clock's still moving at 1:35. So
Got 2 timeouts left. There's no reason to panic.
this is no time at all to really get in a real big hurry. They do need to get up to the line of scrimmage, though, and call all the plays on a quick snap count.
That is
Conserve
men
first down.
flanker to both sides. Shepard's now into the near side. So roll out to Lawrence to the outside, cuts back over the middle and drives forward and gets the first down, John, which will stop the clock with 1 minute, 13 seconds. Got to call the play quickly. Cedric Brock, number 25, mostly a defensive player. Good, excellent speed, comes in for Shepard with the play. Clock now has started again after they reset the chain. First down from the 19-yard line. The Warriors knocking on the door. Have been here twice, only scored once. Handoff to Lawrence over the middle, and he trips down, and a gain of 3, and that'll give you a timeout. They'll take their first timeout with 1 left, and you're going to find yourself on the 16-yard line. Mark at the 17-yard line.
57 seconds left, and that does bring South down to their last timeout.
They got to put the ball in the air
more.
now, John.
And they've got to they've got to really work the sidelines. I think you'll find out that first of all, the sideline patterns are the hardest to cover for the defense, but also it allows South to get out of bounds and stop the clock. And really all they need is about 3 of the in the 5-yard variety, and you're going to find them down around the 5-yard line. So really, if they can't get in the end zone, the next best thing that they're looking for is the field goal, and they're going to save that last time out, I believe, Mike.
They've got to save it because they've got the field goal now. They cannot take enough. Now, wait a minute, John. They can, as long as they're not facing 4th down, they can do a sideline pass to stop the clock if they had to.
Right.
It's 2nd down and 7.
You may also even be seeing them call a couple of different plays in the huddle just in case they do make a reception and the ball carrier doesn't get out of bounds. It wouldn't be unusual to see them call a couple of plays, and most certainly you're going to see everybody getting back on the ball real quick if the ball doesn't
Cedric
get
Brock
out of
came
bounds.
in, stayed out there during the timeout, and then came out. Look in pass. in the dirt.
That's interference.
There's a flag, and that stops the clock. And that's a first down, too, isn't it, John? Won't they I don't know. Let me not
no,
misspeak.
he's about a yard short, I
No,
believe.
but on interference call in automatic.
Okay, they did give him the interference, and it is going to be a first down. They're going to move the chains on that one. South ought to be in the huddle right now calling the
They got to
play.
have the play now. They're not going to give them the first down. Yes, they are. It's first and goal from the 9. First and goal from the 9. The chains come down because it's either the touchdown or the no down. First down, first and goal, 55 seconds. Warriors down 14-13. That's what you came to see, folks, right here. Lawrence on a motion play spins, drives up the middle, and he gets a gain of, he's down to the 6-yard line.
Grapevine, you're going to find them getting up off the ball real slow.
No hurry for them.
43, 42, 41 seconds left.
This has got to be a pass play. They can't afford to keep running the clock and save that timeout.
If Heath doesn't have a receiver that is open, he's got to throw the ball away.
Through the end zone, deep. If he's not open, quick look, he's open.
Ooh, very dangerous.
Oh, that was a dangerous throw. Okay, folks, if you want to know, we'll have one more play into the end zone and then the field goal team. Right, John?
That's exactly right. That was number 5, David Hayes, who that pass was intended for, and I've got to give Heath Hartman credit. The only place that he put that ball, Hayes was the only one that could have caught it. So
not any time for interception because the field goal will still win it, and we're basically only 5 yards past the extra point mark, John. So they'll tell their kicker this is an extra point. That's what they'll keep telling their kicker. It's a safe play. Round the end.
Turn it up, Gerald.
But they're going to have an extra point field goal room. They're down to the 6-yard line. They'll take their last time out. And folks, if you've ever watched football, I know you have, the loneliest job is the kicker. And here he comes. It will be Armijo or Gray. Let's see who they use.
The only thing that I believe that if you ask the South coaching staff right now, the only thing that they would like to change about this, if they could, would be that they'd like it in the middle of the field.
But these kickers
still don't have that bad of an
all
angle.
day long on those hash marks.
Sure. It's really basically for South come down to this one last play, and if they make this, you're still going to see a kickoff.
I don't see a kicker in there yet.
Here he comes. I think you got Kevin Horn coming in. Well, maybe he's the holder.
No, Toris Wilder's going to, well, give me a clue, folks.
I think Kevin Horn is going to kick the field goal. He's got the tee.
He's got it in his hand. He sure
And
does.
he's
It's going to be Kevin Horn.
And, you know, we don't even have Kevin on our depth chart as being a kicker.
This is what you call a coach gut feeling right here, folks. Kevin is a starter last year, is a senior, and I guess they figure the pressure won't affect him as much as some of the other kids.
Let's see if he's a soccer style or if he's...
Timeout Mustangs, they want him to think about it.
It's going to be interesting to see if Kevin is a soccer style kicker or if he's a straight on kicker.
I got a feeling Kevin's a straight on kicker. Kevin might not know what he is right now.
He may be just now figuring it out himself.
Well, he did know.
No, he's a soccer style.
He sure is.
He's a sidewinder,
folks. Now, John, that might be why he's in there. This is the sidewinder side. It's on the left hash mark.
It'll hook.
Come with the right leg. It'll hook back to the left.
Hook. And of course, they've let Kevin have a wide berth out there. He's
nobody talks
to
him. He's on his own.
They have told him one of the offensive linemen has just now pointed which hash marks he was kicking from, so
yeah,
he has gotten that little bit of information that...
Nobody talks to the kicker right now. It's total concentration. 2 steps back, 2 steps to the right, a sidewinder. 14 seconds, 1 point down.
Everybody's on their feet. They know this is the ball game right here, and I'm sure Kevin's very much aware of it. Got to have a good snap and a good hold.
Good snap, and that's
good.
3 points.
That's good.
And the Warriors are now ahead 16-14, and the team is now all over Kevin Horn. And do you tell me his heart wasn't in his throat, John?
That was a big play.
10 seconds left.
Coach is out on the field. Coach Patton trying to get them all back in.
Yeah. That's 10 seconds. Squib kick time, John. You don't want to kick it back to those fast backs.
all that you want to do at this point is just get this clock started, and that's going to happen as soon as the first person touches it. So you're going to see them try to kick it to one of those up men, I believe. Boy, what a pressure play. What a pressure play by Kevin Horn. Of course, like we said before it started, you had to have the blocking, you had to have the snap, you had to have the hold.
You had to have that hold.
Kevin Horn being out there for the first time, and as far as I know, the first time this season to try an extra point or a field goal, did a remarkable job as far as his composure, and he may, from this point forward, just end up being the short man on the kicking game.
The little punch man, the little punch it in. Johnny had, what, 15 yards extra on that kick, too?
You bet. To me, it looked like it was right down the middle. From our vantage point, it's hard to tell, but it looked like it split the uprights. He knew it as soon as he kicked it.
As soon as he hit the ball, he'd start celebrating.
He knew it as soon as he kicked it, and I think Heath Hartman knew it as well. He jumped up and gave him the bear hug.
It's called hitting the sweet spot for the kickers. If they hit the sweet spot, they know what's going to happen. Here's David Gray, who was the kicker prior to Horn showing up, and probably still is. Gray hasn't kicked it deep, and they sure don't want him to this time.
But he
nice
did.
Punch shot. He did get it deeper than I think they'd want him to. And
we got Chambers. We certainly didn't want him with the ball.
Nope, and they just bounced off one tackle, but they got him, and I don't know what we've got in that pile, but we've got 14 flags down over there, John.
The only people that were over there besides Chambers were South players, so you've got to think it was a face mask or something of that nature.
1 second. Folks, it's Roger Starbuck to Drew Pearson Hail Mary time, John. 1 second on the clock. And South is going to feel good about this, but they know they've got a lot of work to do, because after they get through celebrating, they're going to have to take a long look at that first half, John.
That was really the nightmare, and they're walking this penalty off against South.
Well, let's play deep. I hope Al Sneed and Cedric Brock are down there on the goal line. Well, they ought to be 20 yards back.
Yeah, South has got a three-man rush. We'll see it right here, but they're probably going to rush with four. It looks like they've got the original down.
They're just going to loosen it up. Everybody, the linebacker's going to set up 7 yards deep. 10, 20. Cedric Brock is going to be 30 yards deep, folks. They're not going to throw it over him.
You've got a bunch of center fielders back there.
The last snap of the play.
Need a little bit of a pass rush here.
That ain't going to get it right there. And that's the ball game, folks. With South Grand Prairie with 16 second half unanswered points to beat the Grapevine Mustangs 16-14. And there's a lot of kids celebrating. Let me remind you again, every Friday night and a couple of weeks from now, we've got a, John, we've got a Thursday, Friday night. We'll talk more about that next week. Next week, the Highland Park Scotties will be here for the home game opener for Grand Prairie. Welcome to Friday Night Football. South Grand Prairie Warriors tonight will be hosting the Denton Broncos. Denton Broncos are 2-1, and we'll be talking a little bit shortly about what to expect from Denton. Y'all that watched last week know that Grand Prairie High played a thrilling game against Highland Park last week on our Friday night high school football game of the week. While that was going on, y'all that don't know, South Grand Prairie lost a game over in Richardson, and they lost that game to Richardson High School 19-10. So South Grand Prairie comes in with a one win, 2-loss record. Denton Broncos come in with 2 wins and 1 loss. This is Friday night, and you'll be watching it on Channel 24 at either 10 o'clock Saturday morning or 6 o'clock Sunday evening. Last night, Thursday night, Grand Prairie High School played North Side Steers of Fort Worth and beat them 55-0, John, and that game basically was over when the referee blew the whistle and said start the game. next week, I'll be talking further about it. We have home games both Thursday and Friday night. So next weekend, not this weekend, but the following weekend, you'll be seeing a doubleheader. South Grand Prairie is getting ready to bust through the banner, John, but quickly let's talk about what to expect from the Denton Broncos.
Basically, Mike, the Denton Broncos run a wing tee offense, and that means mainly what you'll see them do is the sweep, the counter play, and the trap. That's basically what you see off the wing tee. They lean about 70% to the run. They've got a relatively good fullback and kind of a little bit different from most fullbacks. He's going to carry the ball quite a bit, a guy by the name of Short, number 31. You'll see him carrying the ball quite a bit, and also number 45, their tailback Patterson, will split time with him doing the rest of the ball running duties. They've got a quarterback who has a fairly strong arm. He can throw the intermediate and also the long pass. He's number 7, Kozura, K-O-Z-U-R-A, and again, they're going to run most of their pass plays off the play action pass, so you don't see a whole lot of drop back, just a lot of play action. Defensively, they run a 44 defense, meaning that the south center will be uncovered when Denton is on defense. They'll have the 2 middle linebackers in the middle, similar to what we saw Grapevine run here not too long ago. And they run a lot of man-to-man in the defensive secondary. You'll see some mixing of stunts, which mean their linebackers will be taking some pass as there'll be predetermined plays on defense. You'll see a defensive down lineman go one way, a linebacker shoot a gap on the other side of him. You'll